I think if you want to be happy, if you want to be at peace within yourself, you have to be unapologetically you. Taking the weight of people and opinions and how you're going to be perceived constantly is so draining. And yet for some reason, so much people have a hard time with this. Your ability to be yourself or lack thereof is a reflection of your perspective and worldview. And you hear it all the time nowadays, right? Be yourself, just be yourself, just be you. But a lot of people don't actually understand what that means. You know, it's interesting, when you think about it, kids are actually better than adults at being themselves. When you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, you'll hear answers like astronaut, movie actor, musician, singer, fireman, dancer, basketball player, doctor, professional athlete. And maybe nowadays you'll hear more of YouTuber, Twitch streamer, travel vlogger, esports player, influencer, etc. But as they get older and older, you'll hear the answers shift. You'll hear a lot more of maybe a bank teller, a hedge fund manager, work at a law firm maybe, retail, marketing, sales, etc. Now, can you attribute that to being more quote-unquote realistic as you age, or is that just a veil of excuse for a lack of self-belief? Again, nothing's wrong with that if that's what you truly want to do. But there is an undeniable clear shift in creativity, and I've thought about why this is. I remember my first day of kindergarten. Parents were all outside watching the kids through the window. Okay, that sounded weird. But I remember the teacher giving us a blank sheet of paper and a box of crayons, and we were told to draw what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I remember this so vividly. I took a minute, paused to think about what I wanted to do. And I thought to myself, I don't know, I'm 6. And so I just thought about what sounded cool to me. I ended up drawing an astronaut in space, and I showed my picture and said, I want to be an astronaut. I think about that moment, and I also think about the moment when I was applying for college and I had to pick a major. I was like, I don't know, I'm 18 years old, I don't want to commit yet. I like hanging out with friends, playing basketball, going to church, and crushing on this girl. So just like any other 18-year-old that has no idea, I went with the most generic, nonsensical major, and I picked business. Which in retrospect made no sense because I hate structure, I despise anything corporate. My ADHD was so prevalent throughout my entire life. There actually wasn't a single day in class where I didn't look out the window and space out or thought to myself, who the hell cares, at least twice a day. I was the kid that'd be itching for that recess bell or that lunch period. I'd be falling asleep during my SAT classes and drawing during Chinese class on Saturday. I was even drawing sunsets and landscape during my AP test in high school. I actually remember writing a paragraph noted to whoever was going to grade my AP test on why the education system and this test was bullshit with a smiley face over a sunset. And I actually drew it over the long answer questions we were supposed to solve as kind of like a subtle middle finger. And I remember I got up and finished the test in 30 minutes and walked out like the coolest dude in the class. You know that moment where people look at you and think, how'd this guy finish so fast? And if you asked me what I wanted to be back then, I probably would have shrugged and said something like marketing and sales, I guess. But the point is, there's a clear correlation between aging and not just losing creativity, but also a lack of authenticity and ability to be true to who you are. Not just to others and the world, but to yourself. Because when you think about it, right, kids are a lot better at socializing and making friends than adults as well. And there's really no questioning why. It's because kids don't really play these mental gymnastics, wondering if they'll come off stupid or anything like that. They just go up to other kids and say hi and start playing. There is this freedom you have in your youth that you lose in adulthood or as you age. And some would say that's because of maturing or responsibilities, but I don't think so. Like, I honestly think that being young and creative and free and authentically you is something that shouldn't have anything to do with age. And yet at the same time, we see such a strong decline in all those things as you age. Kids aren't afraid to tell each other what they're interested in or to just talk to each other and instantly be friends. Whereas the older you get, you start to care more about how you dress, you care more about trends, you care more about how people perceive you, and you begin side-eyeing people and playing these mental games in your head in these social situations. You start masking parts of yourself to conform to certain ideas, and again, not only do you slowly lose the ability to be true to who you are, you become dull, boring, and you have no creativity. I mean, you essentially become a clone in society. And obviously, I'm not saying every single person, I'm speaking in general. Ambitions become a lot more diminished, and the aspirations you had as a kid are no longer to shoot for the stars. And I get it, the pessimists would say, yeah, because the older you get, the more realistic you get, whereas when you're a kid, you have these grandiose ideas. And to that, I would ask you this. What's crazier, someone who believes they can or someone who believes they can't? You tell me what's reality. Listen, I'd rather be a delusional optimist than someone who thinks I exist for mediocrity. And going back to the drastic change in answers as it pertains to career choices, I really don't think it's a mere coincidence that all the answers get less and less creative as you get older. I think most people lose confidence to be themselves to chase their dreams, so they end up settling. And they do this by convincing themselves this is what they're supposed to do. And then wonder why they're depressed all the time on social media, projecting their unhappiness to gain some sort of validation. I'm sorry, I know everyone has their own interests and desires as it pertains to what they want to do. I just have a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that some people aspire to be like a bank teller or something. Like putting on a dumbass suit, standing behind plexiglass all day cashing checks for 9 hours straight, and then secretly fantasize about being a travel vlogger during your half-hour lunch breaks as you scroll through Instagram on your phone eating your microwave lunch. Like, it literally goes against the biology of human nature. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on this, but the reason why I say this is because, bro, I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to, and you can tell how they want to do this certain thing. Like when they talk about it, there's this fire that's lit in their eyes, there's this spark, right? But then they pass it off as an out of reach dream simply because they don't have the self-belief in themselves. And that's what I'm getting back to, right? When you were a kid, you had that belief, it was there. And then something happens when you age where you lose that belief and replace it with this excuse, this veil that is reality. When the actual reality is that you can do and be whatever it is you want to do or be. And that's why you have to be unapologetically you. Whether it's society, the education system, social media, celebrity, worship culture, and my guess is that it's a culmination of all of that and more. As you age and you become immersed in these things, social norms, etc., there's just something that pulls people away from their ability to dream and to be creative and to be themselves fully and to believe in themselves. When you were young, you weren't afraid to be who you are. However, as you age in this world, something just slowly starts happening. And I really believe this in my heart of hearts, and it's that if you want to be truly happy and at peace within yourself and to live a fulfilling life according to your true desire, you gotta find it within this fickle world to be yourself unapologetically. And honestly, there is a freedom and peace you find within yourself when you're able to do this. And again, no one's really thinking about you anyways, because everyone's too busy worrying about how other people see them. See how that works? It's kind of an interesting paradox. The people who are the most insecure are the ones who are most worried about how other people see them. Yet 99% of people are worried about how other people see them. So it's all just a bunch of people worried about how other people view them. So in reality, no one's really thinking about you. That's the irony of that paradox. It's not hard, you just have to be willing to do what's best for you and know what that means. When you be yourself unapologetically, you grow a backbone, you live life on your terms, you attract the right people in your life, and you stop wasting time seeking empty attention and validation. And you also increase your chances of succeeding as it pertains to what you want to do. You don't really let people get to you anymore. I could go on and on, but basically your life will get better. I don't know, I'm still young, but this is something I know I can speak on more than anyone else. Be unapologetically you, and that's all there is to it. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, comment, or sub. And with that said, make sure you guys stay true. Talk to you guys real soon. Peace.